Hi everybody, this is Lucien from Holland, and I'm going to make a serial of videos about the curved fills, and we will start with a contour fill. This is what I'm going to show you, and we start with this part. That will be video number 1, and those two will be on the second video, and I hope I can do that in one video because it cannot take too much time. Then people get bored or they want to move on, especially the ones who know already much about digitizing. But for the beginners, it will be fun to see this. Therefore, we're going to open a new page, and we go to new, click on new over here on the left side. It will open a new page. This one is gray. If you want to change the background to black, just go to Design Settings and go to Background and Display Colors. Over here, click on the arrow and change the solid color to black. And say OK. Now you have a black background. I leave the grid because I need it. I find it easy to work with. Also, what I use is go to Software Settings, use Interface Settings, and over here you have a crosshair cursor. I always use that one because you can point exactly where you want something to start or to end or to cross. So I always leave crosshair cursor on. So check mark this one and say OK. Now we go to circle, oval, over here in your toolbox, and we go to fill and make sure you have the contour on. It's no problem if you forget, because you can always do that later. If you select your object and you click on contour, that will be okay too. So left mouse click, drag. If you want your lines to be horizontal, then you see I put my line also horizontal. If I want it vertical, then I change it and I put it on vertical. If you want it really vertical or horizontal, keep your control key down and look. You get a straight line. Now, release your mouse button. I already released it. Click, say enter. So this is my first round shape. I'm going to select it. If I go to stay here on this little dot here, it says exactly the measurements. And if I want it bigger, I pick it up and I drag it bigger. If I want it smaller, I pick it up and I drag it smaller. But, well, that's okay. Over here, we have the stitch settings. This one has a spacing of 150 and length of 360. So I leave that one for now. And we're going to make 2 more by right mouse click, drag, and again right mouse click and drag. This one we give the color pink. This one we give the color a little darker pink, and this one we will give the color, so we say this one. That's a nice combination of colors. At least I think so. This one, if you stay on it, look, if you click on it, it automatically will be selected. So click on it and change the spacing. I will change the spacing in 3. and I say 2 and say enter. Look, now it's a little bit more open. The length, I will put on 4. That is the length of your stitches. Left mouse click on the third one and put the spacing on 4 and say enter. Now it's even with more space. And the length I also will put on 4. So now you have 3 balls with different spacing, and we can make this length about 6 millimeters. Look, the stitches are much longer than these stitches. And now what we're going to do is select all 3 by dragging around it, or also you can do is go to the sequence tab, click on the first one, hold your control key, click on the first one, hold your shift key and click on the third one, and they're all 3 selected. Now we're going to drag them with your right mouse to here. Click out of the box, out of the selected objects to deselect it. Now click on the first one. And what we're going to do now is we're going to change the width. The width over here is 39.72 and it's also 100%. What we're going to do now is select this and type in 50. Look what happened. This one, the height also changed to 50. And that's because the proportional scaling is on. So if that's on and you change this or you change the width here, which you can do also, automatically the height will change as well. So let me do it again. Click on this one and now I click on proportional scaling. So it's off. And now I change the width to 50. And the height will stay the same. And I say enter. Now you have a vertical object. Click on this one and do the same with the height. We change the height to 50%, or you can put here any number that you want in millimeters, but I will do it in percentage, so it's 50%. The height I change 50%, so I get a more oval shape. Click on enter and you see you have a more oval shape. If I click this one and I put my scaling on and I say 50%, you see the height also changed and I just get a small round ball. Enter. So that's what we did now with one ball. What you can do also is click on it, click on duplicate and click on outline. Now you have an outline around your ball. And I will show you. Deselect it. Here you see the stitches. Let's change the outline to motif. Maybe it's too big. Oh, sorry. Select the outline here or go to the sequence tab. And here is your outline and change your outline here. Let me drag that outline to here and release it. So it will stitch after the ball. Now I'm going to change this one. I have selected this one now and I go to object properties and then I choose motif. Well, it's much too big. Well, we can change the motif by clicking on here in pattern. Oh no, click on circle motif, it's already there, and change the width and the height. Change the width to 3 and it will become like this. So the height also changed. So this is now my outline. So that's what you can do with these balls. Now we're going to make a flower with this one. And therefore we click on it, right click, take it with me, make it a lot smaller, like this. You can also make it a little larger if you want, like this. That's okay too. And make the spacing 2. So it will be a little bit more open. This is one. Now I want 2 more, and therefore I close Digitize. I go to Layout. Oh no, let me tell you something first. If you go to Reshape, you see that's what the contour stitch does. The contour stitch goes from here up, down, up, down, up, down, but it ends here. And it's hard to change. So if you want a flower that will stitch in one continuous line, you have to put a single line from here to there, and you will see why if I show you it. So therefore we go to Close Layout, go to Digitizing, go to Digitize, Open Shape, and remember here is where this object ends. So we go to Digitize, Open Shape, Single Run, and I will start here by clicking on it, left mouse click, and here I will put a right mouse click to make my curves, right mouse click because here I want a straight line to the center, and I say enter. Let me change the color, but first select the outline by clicking on Select, clicking on Object Property and the Sequency tab. This is your outline, or let me put it, no, that's in the right position, because this is this object and this is the object next to it. Go to Reshape and put the dots so it will be on the other line, and change the color again to, what was it, this color. Select first and then go to this color, yes. So now what we're going to do is group it by hold your control key down, click on this one and say group. Now you're sure they're staying together. No matter what you do, this is one object. Those two objects are now one object. Now we go to Layout and we go to Circle Layout over here. And over here at the top, I put 3 because I want a total of 3 petals. And you see they're on my cursor now. So I will put them here, very close together. And hold my control key so it will be exactly in the center. They can touch a little bit each other. And I say, I did left mouse click. So now I have 3 petals. And I will show you why I put this one and then make the 3 petals, because look at the player, what it does. Let me first click on this one, shift key down and click on that one, right mouse click and say hide selected. If I don't do that, and I will go to the player, it will begin here all the way down to the end, but I only want to show you this part. So I click on player, and you will see now how it will be stitched out. Or how it will be stitched. You see, it's going all the way down, and it starts here. Here you get a little jump, but that's no problem. And if you want to be sure it will be a jump and not that your machine cut it, because then you get a cut here and a cut again there and then there. So you see now it will be one line object. I stop the player. So if you want to be sure that your machine will not cut it, but just make a jump to there, from here straight to there, then click on, well, let me click on this one first. Ungroup it first. Also this one, ungroup it, and ungroup that one. So click on this one, go to Object Properties, and click on Stitching. You see your connectors here. The first one is on, and we want that because we want it to start here. But the second I will put off, tie off, they call it. If I put my tie off, then it will make a little jump straight to there. And I will do the same with the next. Go to the sequence, click on this one, go to Object Property, and here I will put tie off first, the first stitch that it made, and I will put tie off also at the end of that stitch. So go to the sequence and do the same for all of them. But the last one, of course, is different because go to Object Properties. This one you can turn off, but this one you want to turn on because you want it to end it. So that's just a little bit extra lesson that you get what means tie off and tie on. So these three we have, and they're okay. Now select them by dragging around it, or go to the sequence and select the first one, hold your shift key down, click on the last one, and everything is selected. Because what we're going to do now is duplicate again, and we will turn it, make it a different color. I don't remember what color we used. This color, oh yes, or is it the blue? I don't remember. Anyway, what we're going to do now is I will click a few times on here where it says right 15 degrees. You see it's now out of the center. I pick it up and I will drag it right to the center. That's about it, I think. Oh, that's about it. So now we have a two-color flower. And you can make a little dot on it. Say, and oh, no, as usual, I forget something. Click on Circle Oval, click on Fill, of course, and just a plain tatami fill. Number 1 is okay, or choose one that you like. Left mouse click, drag, release your mouse, left mouse click again, enter. Now you have this little dot.